there's a contest going on to make sure that we come out of the EU on October the 31st. And there are people in Parliament who plainly want to block that, and that includes Jeremy Corbyn, the SNP. I think they're wrong. I think the people of this country want us to get on and do it. Now, I said to them, OK, you want to have these endless, pointless delays. I don't think the people of this country want that. Let's try an election. They've said no to that, which is curious. They don't trust the people. They don't want an election. OK. Perhaps it is that they don't think that they will win. Fine. I'll go to Brussels. I'll get a deal, and we'll make sure we come out on October the 31st. That's what we've got to do.
You keep mentioning October the 31st. You've made it abundantly clear that's your line in the sand. If you can't deliver that, you're going to have to resign, aren't you?
That is not a hypothesis I'm willing to contemplate. I want us to get this thing done. And, I think the people of this country also do. And there's an opportunity to be so much more positive about all this. I still think that there's, so much negativity around about this country, about what it can do, and about Brexit. I'm looking forward to a Britain where we no longer wrangle about how exactly we're going to come out of the European Union. I want to be leading a country where we're building a fantastic new partnership with our friends over the Channel, where we're doing free trade deals around the world, where we're driving forward all the ways in which this country leads. And, look at fantastic Scottish beef, for instance, which I've just been looking at. Not a morsel of it currently goes to America. You could do a free trade deal with America where you don't import their hormone-treated beef, but you do a deal on high-quality products. You allow Scottish farmers to sell, to discover new markets around the world. That's the opportunity for this country. We should be, to say nothing of Scotch whisky and all the rest of it. We should be so much more positive about the UK and what we can do. And all I see is Jeremy Corbyn, the SNP, clubbing together to try and lock us into the EU when it's time to get this thing done.
You move to Monday, another attempt to force the election that you want to have, but you're having to dance to the opposition's tune. They're not going to let you have that election. What do? You're boxed in. If
it's there, I think it's the most sensational paradox. Never in history has there been an opposition party that has been given the chance to have an election and has turned it down. If I may say so, I think that they're making an extraordinary political mistake. But it's their decision. They don't want to have an election. They don't want to move this thing forward. Fine. We will get a deal on October the 17th, 18th. And then we'll come out of the EU. But that will be the beginning of a process in which we start a new partnership with our European friends. Plus, we look to new opportunities around the world, and we really start to take this country forward. Today I'm announcing a big boost for Scottish farming, 211 million for Scottish farming, but that's just on top of all of the investments we're making in education. Now, why do you put money in education? Because we've got fantastic, brilliant kids spread around this entire country, but the funding for their schools isn't the same across the country. So we're levelling up. We're putting more into education. We've got an amazing NHS, but it hasn't had the investment in hospital rebuilds that it could have. So we're doing 20 new hospital upgrades. This is the moment when global interest rates are so low. This is the moment to have a golden age of infrastructure investment. That's what Sajid Javid set out in the spending review this week. And in the budget this autumn, you're going to be hearing a lot more about infrastructure, about improving our roads, our railways, doing fantastic things with full fibre broadband across the whole country so that the most remote rural communities get access to the technology that brings this country together. Our mission is to unite the United Kingdom.
You continue to take criticism from members of your own party, the way you treated the members of your party who you removed the whip from. There's a suggestion this morning that you should allow an appeal mechanism. Is that something you would consider? And is there a way back for those members?
Look, I want to be very clear about this. It grieved me deeply. I don't want to these are friends of mine, and I've worked with them for many years. But we have to get Brexit done. And we were being very clear about risks we're running now in snarling up the process of leaving the EU in Parliament. And yes, of course, I'm going to reach out to those colleagues and have been reaching out to them, try and find ways of building bridges. But I've got to be clear: we must get Brexit done, and that's my message to my colleagues. Let's come together, get this thing over the line, and unite our country, and then get on with defeating the Labour opposition, when they finally have the guts to have an election.
Can I ask you two very quickly Scottish-related
Yes,
questions? You're here announcing what I would imagine is a very welcome boost for the Scottish farming industry. I've spoken to some of the farmers. The problem for the industry is, though, if we do have a no-deal Brexit, they're going to have large tariffs on Scotch beef and Scotch lamb. What can you say to them to give them an assurance?
Yes, absolutely. Well, that's why we don't want a no-deal Brexit, and I don't think we'll get a no-deal Brexit. I'm very confident we'll get a deal at the summit on October the 17th. But the interesting thing is, if you talk to the beef farmers, actually, they're in two minds about tariffs. So there are some ways in which you could see benefits to some domestic production from tariffs in some sectors, if strictly necessary, or tariff-related quotas. So you have a big TRQ, but then you have tariffs on some of the increment, as it were. But generally speaking, the opportunity is to do deals with countries that don't currently take any of our produce at all. America takes no British lamb. America takes no British beef. China has a massive appetite for UK agri-foods industry, for UK food. We've got fantastic opportunities, and we will be making sure that we really, really drive that in the months ahead.
Finally, your party's fortunes in Scotland. You've lost your leader, Ruth Davidson. If you get that election you desire, the polls suggest you will lose 10 of your MPs here. Is Scotland turning its back on the Conservatives?
Well, I pay tribute, first of all, to Ruth Davidson. I think she did an amazing job as leader. I hope very much that people will recognise that the agenda of the SNP and Labour together is to break up the UK. That's what they keep saying, to smash the oldest, most successful partnership in history. And we want to unite it and to bring it together. And one of the reasons I'm announcing the 211 million that's coming into to Scottish farming today is because of the work of Scottish Tories in London. The investments that you see in whether it's in the defence sector or in the climate change summit that's going to happen in Glasgow next year. This is the result of Scotland's membership of the UK, of the partnership with other countries in the UK, the most successful political partnership in the world. That's what Scottish Conservatives stand for, and I'm going to be backing them all the way.
And you off to see the Queen? Looking forward to your visit?
I am. I'm much looking forward to it. Yes, I was. I don't know when I'm going to have to find something else to wear, but yes, I am. I think a suit will do, don't you? I think it'll be all right.
Appreciate your time. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.